step at a time.
On Max Hits, we've got the ultimate playlist for you. We give you back-to-back.
And all the biggest news from the world of entertainment, only on Max Hits.
Area, waiting the apple, waiting the shop. You need to award-winning waiting the 102.3 Max FM.
Lagos, Nigeria, you're welcome to the Max Drive.
Whether you're there for inside motor, you're there for inside traffic, we're there for you with a Max Drive.
You know what it is. It's the Max House Party. King Dion, DJ Charlie Shee. Let's go!
102.3 Max FM. Hit music for Lagos.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
He has a prophetic word for you.
There is a chosen purpose for your ordination, a reason for being here. Destiny is what God has given you before you showed up on this earth. Every issue, every battle you've gone through in life will not stop you from where you are going. A great mind helps you to be unstoppable. Particularly when the reward is bigger than the risk. You need to move from I have to the place where you say I will do it. Start to break out of the park and be different. Uniquely blessed.
It's Wednesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, have the ladies with me. Hello, Obiajulu Ubo into building. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing.
Oh, those calm Wednesdays. Everybody's just rather calm today. How you doing though?
I'm doing great. I've been alone for a bit. Our guy decided to use the first month of the year to tour the world. I'll do my own back.
Are you for real?
I'll definitely do my own back. It's paining me. I'll do my own back.
Alone?
But I've been alone.
Without you?
Yeah.
Oh.
He needed it. He needed the rest. I've been alone with my little daughter, and the siblings have gone back to school. So yesterday, their school did their 40 years anniversary. Nice. And all the campuses were together. So they are in different campuses. So at the event, she met the siblings that she hasn't seen for over 2 weeks since they resumed now. And she hugged them. When she came back, she hung that uniform and instructed my help not to wash it so that anytime she touches it, she will feel their hug. Like she's really missing them. And they are not planning to come home this weekend. So I think I'll appeal to them. At least one of them should come home this weekend at least. Their younger sister is really missing them. And she's been in my room.
You and her bonding.
Yeah, she's taking over August's part of the bed. We'll have to cuddle every night before she goes to sleep and all that. So it's been a bonding moment, yeah.
Ramatu, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. Okay, so I woke up this yesterday I woke up and money, they just took one, this bank, I don't want to mention the name of the bank, they just removed money from my account again. So I've just been, immediately I just saw that, I just became a bit weak. I was like, how can you wake me up with debit and lat? And the money is just so much. Are people really considering my health?
So you have to go there and
so yes, I have to go to the bank now, and I'm thinking of moving my money away from that bank. Because it's not the first time they are doing it. This is like the third time now.
Wow.
And it's not small money, huge. At least 300k right now is plenty money.
It's plenty money.
If you turn my money, even 10,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah,
you can't just move it and all.
Come to you, Mariam, how you doing?
I'm good. I just thought like the weekend was quite interesting. I mean, from the inauguration of President Trump and then
drama,
all the reality TV shows. That's like one of my favorite pastimes. So the African Rich and Famous one. Oh my God. I've been telling people, I have opinions. I need to share opinions. You know, all the Annie Idibia and Ini Edo. I'm sure there are so many Nigerians that are watching this. Well, Africans across the world. And today in the makeup room, I sat down and we were all talking about it. I just think I'm happy that Ini Edo is part of the cast. I like the vibe that she's bringing to the cast, and I cannot wait to see more. You know, it's just quite interesting. I love the Housewives franchises as well. I missed Mariam when she came on our show because I had gist and questions for her as well. Yeah, so that's just it. Just the gist.
That's fantastic. I usually watch it, but I've not watched this season yet. I just haven't had the time, but I'll probably look at it this weekend. So today is January 22nd, the birthday of Mr. Tijani. Is a friend of the house. So his wife's birthday, her name is Tyrat Bolanle Ayatunde Tijani. Happy birthday, ma'am. Happy birthday. We have to do a shout out for Mr. Tijani because he's always he's a good friend of the house and he's somebody that we care about. So his wife is also very close to us and close to the ladies of your views. So happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday,
Tyrat Bolanle Tijani. Says she's affectionately known as Mama Nabiha.
Mama Nabiha, happy birthday.
Long life and good health.
All right, let's go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the nation. Our plan to restart oil production in Ogoni by Tinubu and Fubara. Economy on right track, says Bagudu. Protest over death of Nigerians in South Africa, police and police custody. How tax reform bills will transform economy. Trump's executive orders face legal hurdles. CMDs, brain drain worsening health sector challenges, and over 100 terror financiers prosecuted by federal government. Okay, which story are we starting with? Major headline?
The major headline, yes. So they said concrete steps are being taken by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Governor Siminalaya Fubara and critical stakeholders in the Rivers State to restart oil production in Ogoniland. The President and the Governor yesterday identified the entrenchment of peace in the oil-rich community as a catalyst for the cleanup and development of the place. President Tinubu had urged Ogoni leaders who were yesterday led to a meeting by Fubara at the Presidential Villa Abuja to set aside their age-long differences, grievances, and join hands with the government to achieve the said goal in Ogoniland. So the Federal Capital Territory Minister, Nyesom Wike, joined the meeting midway, and they started talking on restarting oil production and environmental cleanup of Ogoniland, among other issues. They also topped the agenda at the meeting, with some of these issues. And according to a statement by the Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the President assured Ogoni leaders that his administration would prioritize peace, justice, and sustainable developments in the area. He says, and I quote, "We cannot in any way rewrite history, but we can correct some anomalies of the past going forward. We cannot heal the wounds if we continue to be angry," he said. And he says they are calling for inclusive consultation and mutual understanding, mandated National Security Advisor Malam Nuhu Rubadu to coordinate all the negotiations they are going to be having. And he also commended the delegation for embracing the federal government-led dialogue and emphasized the need for more collaboration, trust, inclusiveness to resolve all the lingering issues that they have in the area.
This is really important because we know the history of the Ogoniland and all the issues. People have died.
The cleanup is even most important to us. Those people need to have a semblance of healthy living in their environment.
Okay, another story.
So I have the story of the economy, saying that the economy is on the right track. They said the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, that's Senator Abubakar Bagudu, said the President is steering the economy in the right direction. He made this assertion during the defense of his ministry's 2025 budget. He said under the leadership of Tinubu and with our support that the economy has turned the bend facing, and now it's now facing the right direction. But so far, we have still been seeing we are still in the bumps. So he said that the renewed hope agenda is working. That's what he said. And he also said that the gross domestic product, that's the GDP of the economy, has risen more than 3% for 3 successive quarters. And he said that he also told the legislators that the Tinubu administration will generate the funds to finance the 2025 financial projections through innovative financing and line budget allocations. He also said that we should continue to support the President, whom God has given the vision, knowledge, and courage to take the country out of the wahala that it's in the last several decades. So let's see how that goes.
So I have President Trump arrived, guns blazing. So the executive orders signed by President Donald Trump after his inauguration now face legal hurdles. So one of them directs federal agencies to refuse citizenship for Nigerians, for children, all children born in the U.S. to mothers who are in the country illegally or on visas if the father is not a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident. But his opponents, scholars, and other groups said he had exceeded the limits of his presidential power. The executive order on birthright citizenship is being challenged by 18 states in the U.S. I thought that was interesting. The president comes in and, of course, like the new administration wipes out, and then he's in court. But they said 3 lawsuits raised legal questions about the appointment also of Tesla founder Elon Musk to run the non-governmental Department of Government Efficiency. So the public interest groups behind the lawsuit say that the panel violates law on transparency for government advisory groups. Now, how it concerns us Nigerians. Director of Studies, Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, Professor F.M. Ubi, says he does not think the birthright policy hurts Nigeria. He says Nigerians who may be bothered by this are only those who want to go and have children abroad. He says, if we remember, the UK also had to impose the same policy some years ago, and we adjusted. So, you know, he does not see how this affects us. And then concerning deporting of illegal residents, he says, of course, if you're in a country without the proper papers, you should be deported, you know, or sent back. But if you're a rightful citizen of that country, it makes no sense to be sent back to your country of birth if you're a citizen of the United States. So Nigerians, it does not affect you if you're not planning on having your children in America and having them have citizenship. Okay, so going back to the tax reform bills, as you all know, everybody's been talking about it. They've been having stakeholder engagement for a while. So now NATI, that's the Nigeria Extractive Industry Transparency Initiative, and TUC, that's the Trade Union Congress, have all said that the tax reform will modernize the economy and enhance the standard of living of Nigerians. Some stakeholders also continue to say that this is a reform that is needed for Nigeria to grow. The former National Assembly member Bamidele Fakporusi also said that only those opposed to the progress of the nation will stand against the way of the bill. NATI's Executive Secretary Dr. Oji Ogbanaya Oji said the bills would modernize the tax system, streamline and broaden its administration to align global practices. Quite a few other organizations have come forward to support the tax reform bill. So hopefully very soon we should have it passed and then become law and going forward and hopefully things can get better for Nigerians. Moving on now to the Punch, very quickly, the headlines. Amotekun mobilizes 2,000 men to comb southwest forests. Picture story here. Tinubu promises fairness as Ogoni oil exploration plan resumes. Human interest story here. Immigration arrests 90 foreigners for cybercrime in Rivers. Supreme Court hears Wike Fubara loyalist appeal February 10th. How El Rufai's ex-chief of staff laundered 3.9 billion naira forex proceeds, says ICPC. NNPCL raises petrol price to 990 naira in FCT and 960 naira in Lagos. Nigeria's public debt hits 142 trillion naira as borrowing rises. And FG seeks stronger U.S. ties amid Trump's deportation threats. Let's go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll review the Punch. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Hey, my people, I greet you plenty.
My name is Nachika Okeke.
My name na Uwi Balogun.
My name na Damilola Banire.
My name na Moyo Faraway Ahmed. If you also call me Moyo Listy. And this na Abigail. And I dare on top of your view pigeon. I'm going to bring you bass, boost.
I don't get person will be single mother before. He carry another man show say now my husband be this.
This na wetin you want.
After that day, the man
no go see him again. If you snooze, you lose. If you miss this show, you miss out. On top this our show, I not dey gree for anybody.
How did they find the husband? You not see sign say the guy smart, you don't vex, don't give signs.
If they look for person, we will give them to you. Fact as he be.
Men no they ever get forced. If baby not there for her,
na the woman.
Talk no they be person, you make person no fit talk true inside. But for this country, we not say if we open court in the morning, waiting no good, no good.
Me and my sisters, hey, we go tanda gidigba for inside studio to give una all the latest information.
We not even take responsibility for the children. Leave the man.
And that's some Poria.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jam results. So
my 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, #1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for #1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym to get fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference?
There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make a relationship better.
No. Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But there are all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a...
Thanks for staying with us. Now we're reviewing Punch. You have a story, anybody?
Yeah, I have the major headline. So the Amoteco Corps has mobilized over 2,000 personnel to flush out bandits and other criminals operating in forests in the southwest region. Ogun and Osun states topped the list with targeted 1,000 recruits each, while Oyo recruited 480 men last October as part of the efforts to curtail the influx of bandits. So the state commanders of the Corps confirmed to the Punch on Tuesday that more men will be recruited soon to strengthen the Southwest security network and enhance its operations against the bandits, kidnappers, and other hoodlums that are hibernating in the Southwest forests and reserves. The targeted operation follows reports of increased kidnapping incidents and other illicit activities by bandits from the Sahel countries and other shady characters. So the National Bureau of Statistics had revealed in their survey last December that Nigerians had paid a total of 2.23 trillion as ransom between May 2023 and April 2024. And according to the NBS Crime Experience and Security Perception Survey report, an estimated 51.89 million crime incidents were recorded across Nigeria households in that reference period. So the survey indicated that the Southwest recorded 6.9 million crime incidences during the period. The Northwest region had the highest incidence of crime, with recordings about 14.4 million cases reported, followed by the North Central region with 8.8 million incidents. And so they are saying that to, booster their security in the Southwest, the Ondo State Amoteco Corps is asking that they have already deployed their rangers to the forest, about 1,000 rangers, and they are asking that they need more weapons. They're asking for more weapons and other security hardware. So it's very difficult for them. Though they are not talking about automatic weapons, it's under the exclusive list, but they need more weapons. They also need things to help them improve their intelligence gathering to be able to do the work well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a story on... So I have a story on public debt, right? They said the Nigeria's total public debt rose from 142.3 trillion from 134.3 trillion to 142.3 trillion. They said that the debt that's comprising of the external and domestic debts combined all in Naira after they had made the conversion into Naira. That was the total amount. They are saying that the external debt rose from 63.07 trillion to 68.89 trillion. We're going to be dealing with figures. And also the domestic debt, they said, increased from 45.87 billion in September, and now it's now 48.45 billion in June. So they are saying that the federal government obligation rose from 66.96 trillion to 69.22 trillion, while states and federal capital territory recorded a minor reduction from 4.27 to 4.21 trillion. So overall, they said the Nigerian's total public debt is now rose from 88.89 billion. Now it's now 91.35 billion.
Okay.
So they are now saying that the chief executive officer of the Center for Promotion of Public Enterprise is saying that we should be very careful that the country may end up in a debt trap. And he's also saying that we should be very conscious and watch the rates at which this thing is going.
Yeah. Okay. So I have electrification of rural areas. So despite spending more than 14.36 billion naira on alternative sources of electricity for rural areas across the Federation in 2024, the federal government proposed to spend 1.3 trillion to deepen its efforts in 2025. the Rural Electrification Agency will handle projects under the Ministry of Power. This is as the REA, which EFCC is probing for 12.7 billion fraud, has failed to connect hundreds of communities to the national grid. EFCC traced 27 accounts. That's, you know, in the ongoing probe, they traced 27 accounts to to the suspended managing director of REA, Salijo Ahmed. So March 2024, I don't know if a few of us remember, Ahmed was suspended indefinitely by the president alongside Olani Inetfor and the executive director, corporate services, Berka Sojo, executive director, technical services, and Saadatu Balgore, ED, Rural Electrification Fund. And a new acting management team was appointed, you know. So meanwhile, rural communities in Edo, Ogun, Taraba, Yobe, Sokoto, Jigawa, Zamfara, Enugu, Imo, and several other states have complained that they have not been connected to the national grid. They have not benefited from any electricity project despite fiscal appropriations and promises by the REA. And, you know, the World Bank last year had stated that Nigeria has the world's largest electricity access deficit, with 45% of the population, that's about 90 million Nigerians, lacking access to electricity grid, and 26% living in rural areas. Anyways, this whole story is really about monies that have been put into a particular project, specifically the electrification of rural areas, and nothing to show for it. Instead, we're probing for money lost. We're probing people for money lost. And you see how government does its part and puts things in place. And then Nigerians who have been appointed to represent us take the money and we don't know what's happening with it. So I guess until they find out where these monies have gone, there's several 27 accounts before, you know, these different communities will now start seeing any semblance of electricity in the areas.
Okay, let me take the other story from Rivers State. So the Rivers State Command of Nigerian Immigration Service said its officials have arrested 90 illegal immigrants for suspected cyber crimes. According to the report, the service said that the suspects, there were about 90 of them, and there were different levels of swindled Nigerians, saying the bulk of them are from Cameroon. The service said that the suspected cybercrime criminals were arrested in collaboration with other sister companies and agencies in the hideouts within the state. According to the report, says that profiling them, 85 of them were Cameroonians, 5 were Chadians, and 4 were Nigerians. Of the 94 people, 97 were male and 20 females. According to the services, all 90 of them gained access into the country illegally, and they've been here perpetrating crime for some time. Okay, moving on now to Daily Sun. Telecom's tariff hike sparks widespread fury. Checkpoints, reps probe alleged extortion of humiliation of passengers in Southeast. Over 100 terrorist financiers convicted in 2 years, says Tinubu. Despite earlier tragedy, Niger residents besieged fallen tanker to scoop groundnut oil. Bagudu, how we plan to generate funds in 2025. Alleged rights breach. Ex-presidential aspirant files 990 trillion euro suit against CBN and others. And Portugal to import more US and Nigerian LNG. Okay.
Yes, so I have the Nigerian Communications Commission, and I know that you people took the story yesterday. We know that there's a recent approval of a 50% increase in telecommunications tariff across the country, and it has sparked a heated debate. The telecom operators are celebrating the decision as a crucial step towards ensuring the sector's financial viability. Consumers and advocacy groups are expressing deep concerns, on the other hand, about the potential impact on affordability and accessibility of these essential services. So while the tariff increment falls short of the initial request, they actually wanted to have taken it higher than 50%. They said it's a welcome development and a significant step towards, you know, all the things that they needed to do for that industry. They said they've been vocal about the mounting pressures they face, rising operational costs, including energy, infrastructure, maintenance, and the devaluation of the naira. They also argue that the tariff hike is not merely a profit-driven move, but a necessary measure to sustain investments in network upgrades and ensure the continued delivery of quality services. But the increased costs is definitely going to significantly impact on the lives of Nigerians, though they are saying that it's crucial for them to continue investing in the network, and that's why they are increasing the prices, so that at least they can have all the necessities to function effectively. But consumer groups, individuals, every other person is saying that this will impact especially on consumers, people who are, you know, relying on their daily bread. Everything we're doing now, you have to go through the telcos. Even the banks are using the telcos for their services and all of that. And that will now reflect on the cost of the services, products and services that we get, which the consumers will struggle to pay for. I heard a bit of how Tokwe was lamenting, using all the other networks, and now she has to pay double of the price that she's paying. It doesn't really make sense. So it's being for and against. I also want some people to see it from the perspective of the business owners and also the perspective of the consumers.
Okay, so Portugal plans to increase purchase of liquefied natural gas from Nigeria and the United States. This is as a result of the dwindling supplies from Russia, obviously, you know about the war. So yesterday, Environmental Minister Maria de Garcia said yesterday that Portugal imported about 49,000 gigawatt hours of natural gas in 2024, of which around 96% was LNG. According to the minister, the data from electricity and gas shows that Nigeria accounted for 51% of those LNG, and they're also about to order more. So better days ahead for us. So there's a likelihood that they're going to increase their purchase from Nigeria, especially because of the war going on in Russia. So that's more foreign exchange. Congratulations to us then. Okay.
I'll take the tanker. This happened at, So in Niger State, they say barely 4 days after fuel tanker explosion killed over 90 people and injured 69 at Diko Junction in Gurara local government area of Niger State. Residents of Bida local government area yesterday morning invaded a fallen tanker to scoop groundnut oil. The tanker, said to be carrying about 30,000 liters of groundnut oil, lost control and overturned, spilling its content. The accident occurred near Shafa filling station in Esso area in the suburb of Bida town. So there's a viral video that's on social media, and then it shows like chaotic scenes where dozens of residents they were scrambling to collect spilled groundnut oil using all kinds of containers, including jerry cans and buckets. So thankfully, there was no fuel, there were no casualties, nothing, no explosion.
You think they learned
from? You would think 4 days before, having lost so many people than Nigerians. So what is it? You know, I know people always say it's hunger, but I don't know if it's hunger.
Bad behavior.
Someone went there with the generator.
Very quickly.
So there's they said Nigeria prosecuted 100 terror financiers in 2 years. That's people who have been financing terrorism, and they said they have prosecuted over 100 of them. And I don't want to go into details, but I just want to say that why can't they publish their names so that we will know? Let's put their names out so that we will know them.
They know she prosecuted what's going on. Mention their names, let us know. So okay, that's all we can take on Front Page Review this morning. When we come back, we move on to our special feature. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Hey, my people, I greet you plenty.
My name is Nachika Okeke.
My name na Uwi Balogun.
My name na Damilola Banire.
My name na Moyo Faraway Ahmed. If you also call me Moyo, listen. And this na Abigail. And I dare on top your view pigeon. I'm going to bring you bass, boost.
I don't get person will be single mother before. He carry another man show, say, now my husband be this.
After
that day, the man
disappear again. If you snooze, you lose. If you miss this show, you miss out. On top this our show, I not dey gree for anybody.
When you dey friend the husband, you not see sign say the guy smart, you don't bet, don't give signs.
If they look for person, we go give them to you. Fact as it be.
Men no they ever get fault.
If baby not there for her,
na the woman. Talk no they be person, you make person no fit talk through inside. But for this country, we not say if we open court in the morning, waiting no good, no good.
Me and my sisters, hey, we go tanda gidigba for inside studio to give una all the latest information.
But look, we not even take responsibility for the children. Please the man.
And that's some warrior.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars,
So let me go and look for my jammies. So
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jammies.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show, you for that long.
Ladies and gentlemen, number one, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. So here, recap done, and it's time for number one on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym to get fat. Cricket.
She says she does show dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
Yeah, pole dancer does not show.
You're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make a relationship better.
No. Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question. Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the person that used to some sports?
That woman.
Damn! Yeah,
Today we'll go here.
Hey!
Let's catch up now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great night.
Thanks for staying with us. Our guest has been an entrepreneur for over 30 years. She founded Harvest Field Educational Services out of the burden to facilitate the progression of students for studies abroad in 2004. She'll be telling us more about the Harvester Education Services. Welcome with us, Elsie Otegbade, to the show. Good to have you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So tell us a bit about Harvesters Field and why you got into this business in the first place.
Okay, thank you so much. Harvest Field Educational Services started in 2003, 2004. I had a dream in 2003. You know, I woke up with a dream that I'll be organizing, I didn't know what type of fair. It looked larger than life to me because, you know, prior to that, the only fair that was known was the Lagos International Trade Fair. And I thought, Lord, you know, where do I begin? And so I consulted with a few people, and then I started the Lekki International Fair. You know, no, sorry, Lekki Business Fair.
Okay.
I did that about 2-3 times. You know, I was trying to promote SMEs, you know, small business owners. And, you know, each time I did it, I incurred losses, you know. But for each of those times, I learned 1 or 2 things. By the 3rd or 4th time, I was discouraged. I thought, Lord, I thought you said I'll be organizing fairs. Why am I making losses? And then, you know, I went to the, I went to one of the Holy Ghost services, and the general overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God said, you know, someone here, you feel discouraged because you failed a few times. Don't, you know, the Lord says that, you know, just as the guy who invented electricity failed about 1,000 times, you know, that, you know, things will, you know, don't be discouraged, everything will be okay. And I thought to myself, if he failed 1,000 times, I've only failed 3-4 times. You know, why am I discouraged? And so I picked myself up again, and then I actually asked the Lord again. I said, okay, fairs, there are different types of fairs. I'm sorry I didn't ask for specifics. And then he said education fair. Wow. I didn't send you to business fair. Wow. And so that was how in 2004 I started education fairs. Okay. And we had invited Mrs. Tunumbo at that time, but Mrs. Fashola was her, the wife of the chief of staff. And so Mrs. Fashola was our guest at the very first education fair. And before my education fair, the only fairs we had were the UK fair by the British Council, the USIS fairs, you know, US education fair, the Canadian fair. I mean, these were the 3 main education fairs at that time. And each of them were promoting institutions in their countries. Yeah. And so the Lord said I could provide a platform and have different countries exhibit on my platform. And that was the vision as I started.
Okay, so I heard your story. Your story is very interesting. And failure, I know that failure is part of life and it's part of business. So
yes.
at the end of the day, you learn from it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there are so many agencies. So what sets yours apart?
Thank you. Like I said, we started in 2004. And at the time we started, right from the onset, our core values we have upheld. And those core values are honesty, integrity, diligence, and excellence. Whenever I hire a staff, I take them through these core values. Zero tolerance for malpractices and fraudulent, practices. And so we've upheld these core values over 20 years by the grace of God. Last year, we actually won several awards. You know, one of them is one of the big awards in the industry, and we had to travel to Turkey to receive the award. So yes, so integrity is so important. Right now, indeed, there are so many agencies. Everybody is in need for money, but you see, as I started organizing fairs, I felt led to now start assisting these students, especially in 2005 when my children were traveling to Canada for studies. I realized parents really don't have, by then we don't have internet like we do now. No. I realized parents actually need a place where they could come and meet with schools, get information, and then make informed decisions before shipping off their children, So I started it with a passion to meet a need. Okay? And so passion is what keeps you. Okay, it wasn't for money. Okay.
Okay. But because of time, God, like us to with as many questions as possible. So I was just wondering if there are other services apart from the core service that you provide.
Yes. So apart from organizing education fairs and assisting students with admissions and visas and all of that, my daughter, who works with me, is an immigration consultant. She's a registered Canadian immigration consultant. So we also help those who want to emigrate.
Okay, with their visas. Okay, so tell us about your target audience and what type of schools would you be, showcasing at the fair?
At this fair.
Yeah.
Okay, our target audience are students, undergraduate students, postgraduate students, students who are about to write their WAEC, and their parents or their guardians. We want them to come and meet with these schools, get information, speak one-on-one, before you before you decide which of the destinations, which of the institutions, and all of that. You said target audience.
Yes. And what sort of schools are we expecting?
The schools that will be there are boarding schools, colleges and universities in UK, Canada, US, and a few other countries.
Non-Nigerian? Non-Nigerian schools?
No.
Okay, just international schools.
Just it's an international fair, international education.
Okay,
fair.
so I wanted to ask you, so do we have, is there room for scholarships? You are able to offer scholarships?
Okay, yes, most of the institutions have scholarships. Something I say to people is, if you want to travel abroad for studies, you must be ready with your finances. It's only few institutions in the US give full scholarships. However, UK, Canada, and every other place, you get part scholarship, which means you still need to pay something. So you must be prepared. And it's never cheap.
Okay, what would you say your visa success rate is like, and what should visitors expect, because I hear that you're going to be running seminars concurrently with the fair, so could you tell us about that?
Okay, thank you so much. Visa success rate is about 99.9%,
wow,
which is very good.
It is.
Over the years, by God's grace, we're on top of things in that regard. Like I said, my daughter is a Canadian immigration consultant. Apart from the visa success,
seminars will be running concurrently.
The seminars, we would have seminars, and these seminars are targeted at enlightening the students that would be coming. We're going to talk about how to take care of your mental health.
Okay.
We're going to talk about living and studying abroad.
Important.
We're going to talk about tips to excel academically in higher institutions. So a number of these seminars are there to enlighten the students and to prepare them.
So finally tell us the dates, the locations, and time for this event.
Okay, thank you so much. So the event starts on the 24th, which is this Friday, in Port Harcourt, at the Golden Tulip Hotel in Port Harcourt. And time is 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then after that, we have the one at the Lagos mainland, Tuesday, 28th of January, Radisson Blue Hotel, 38/40 Isaac John Street, Ikeja. And then on Wednesday, 29th of January, we're going to be on the Lagos Island at 4 Points by Sheraton Hotel, plots 9/10, Block 2, Oniru Chieftaincy Estate, Victoria Island, Lagos. And then on Friday, 31st of January, we'll be at Abuja at the Shehu Musa Yar'Adua Center, 1 Memorial Drive, Abuja. The time each of those days is 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. However, the seminars will be between the hours of 12 noon and 1 p.m.
Okay.
Oh, busy
short period for you.
Congratulations. 30 years, no joke. Obviously, you've been doing this for a while, and you've had quite a bit of success rate, so lots of people will contact you. So is there a phone number they can reach us in case they need to reach out to you for more information?
Yes, 0802 3238 953.
Website?
Website www.harvestfieldedu.com.
Fantastic.
And it says entry is free.
Entry is free. Entry
but school fees is not free.
But each of the schools are going to have application fee waivers, and like I said, they're going to have some form of scholarships to encourage parents.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you. Wishing you the best at this conference.
Thank you so much.
Let's go on a short break now. When we come back, we continue with the topic of today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey, my people. I greet you plenty.
My name is Nachika Okeke.
My name na Uwi Balogun.
My name na Damilola Banire.
My name na Moyo Faraway Ahmed. If you also call me Moyo, listen. And this na Abigail. And I dare on top of you, pigeon. I'm gonna bring you bass, boost.
I don't get person will be single mother before. He carry another man show say now my husband be this.
This na wetin you want.
After that day, the man
no go see am again. If you snooze, you lose. If you miss this show, you miss out. On top this our show, I not dey gree for anybody.
When you dey find the husband, you not see sign say the guy smart, you don't vex, don't give signs.
If they look for person, we will give them to you. Fact as it be.
Men no dey ever get fault.
If baby not there for her,
na
the woman.
Talk no dey be person, you make person no fit talk true inside. But for this country, we not say if we open court in the morning, waiting no good, no good.
Me and my sisters, hey, we go tanda gidigba for inside studio to give una all the latest information.
We no even take responsibility for the children. Please the man.
And that's some Poria.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results. So
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one better.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Yeah, that's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show, Fadala.
Ladies and gentlemen, number one unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number one on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym to get fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying.
So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
That's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No. Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good.
Thanks for staying with us. So last week, Thursday, the UK Conservative Party leader, Kemi Badenoch, got under fire again over her latest comment against Nigeria. She had expressed concerns about the consequences of a terrible government like Nigeria and vowed to prevent such outcome in Britain. Badenoch drew parallels between Nigeria's governance failures and potential risks for the UK if critical changes are not made. Now, obviously, this happened on Thursday last week, and between Thursday and now, lots of people have come for her. Quite a few comments have gone on social media. People have dug up other comments, criticism from the Vice President, and others have really gone out. In fact, interestingly, so a man got up and bought her a pair of shoes. I think he returned, I think a wristwatch. She had said that. She had alleged that the Nigerian police had stolen from family. So he watched the video, got up, went to a store in the UK, took it right to the Conservative office, and ask them to give it to her, because obviously maybe we can hear word. I've seen it. But in your own view, because when I was reading about this and listening to comments and conversing about this, you know, I now remembered this young girl, Malala, I think, when she became popular.
Yeah.
And I remember that time she was talking about how the girl child was treated in her country, how the rights of women were not adhered, and how she was trying to fight for the rights of women in her country. At that time, people in her country were also criticizing how she made them look on the global stage. You know, today she's a notable figure because whether we like it or not, she's somebody every of our children know and talk about, because she is somebody who has spoke up for the rights of a girl child. So why are we criticizing Kemi so much? Because this is a woman who is using her own experiences, her own background to get out a message. She's the leader of the Conservative Party. So although I understand where Nigerians are coming from, I also see where she's coming from. And why can't we find a middle ground? Let me hear your thoughts on it. BC, you want to start?
So I think we should allow people have their experiences and share their experiences however they see fit. Because the experiences are theirs. They wore the shoes at the time. They had those interactions. They felt the pain, you know. And, you know, sometimes when we sit back, we always feel like, why do you have to share this? Why do you have to paint us in a bad light? But if it didn't happen, I will not share it. And I'm not sharing it, you know, intention now to paint you in a bad light. I'm sharing it so that we and other people around could learn from it and avoid making those mistakes. Now it's going to hurt us because we are the receiving end. Is our name that she's calling, our name on her lips. Nigeria this, Nigeria that. But she's just calling the names. We have our own people who are going there and messing up the names. They are not saying anything, but by their actions, they are also heaping coals of fire on the name. So for me, I think we should move away from what she's saying and how she's saying it. Is none of our business. She's doing her job and she feels she wants to bring her experiences of Nigeria to the job that she's doing. That's fantastic. That's left for her. We should focus on, okay, these and these and these are some of the things that people say about our country. How do we make it better? How do we sanitize the system? How do we clean up ourselves in such a way that anybody who experiences Nigeria would only have good things to say about Nigeria? I've been to several countries. I've been to Singapore. I've been to Dubai. I've been to Abu Dhabi, right? And though I don't live there with the people, I came as a tourist, but the experience I have of those countries, anytime I talk about those countries to people, I have good things to share about the countries. If I had had bad experiences, because I remember the first time I stepped into Dubai, and I was duped. The people that sold chocolate to us cut off our head. But they were not Dubai people. They were Iranians and I think Indians. They were the ones that duped us. Anytime I have to share that story, I mention Iranians and I mention Indians who stay in Dubai, that this was my experience with them. Iranians tomorrow will not say, why are you calling our name? What is the meaning of that? Why don't you focus on other things? But it's my experience. So if we put that, I think we're putting so much spotlight on what she's saying and what she's not saying. That's her business. We should focus on repairing our country in such a way that anybody who experiences Nigeria will always have good things to say. And those people who have also experienced good things in Nigeria should speak up more. We always focus more on the negatives, right? People who come to the country and experience good things, please, why are you people not putting videos in front of you? Why are you not putting camera, ring lights? Why are you exactly? Why are you not leading and talking good about Nigeria?
Let me come to
That's
you.
how I say it.
Okay, so I think I agree with all you've said, but my only problem is that she always says it in a derogatory way every single time. And most of her policies is always, anytime she's meant to make her policies, she's always mentioning Nigeria. And it's always the bad part of Nigeria. But Nigeria, anyhow, she's going to say, because she left at the age of 16, there must be a positive thing that will be impacted in her. this country has impacted in her. Why is she not? Why? She has never ever mentioned the good part of the country. It is always Nigeria this, Nigeria that, and all of that. Everybody faced it. Even the country that she's in, they have their own challenges as well. Sure. It's just that their own social media or whatever is covering it up very well. But we Nigerians, you know, we will always bring up our own and, you know, spread it out and everything. And that's why the last time we talked about it, I was on her side when she said, you know, they went to take their baths with these and there was no pipe-borne water and everything. I was really on her side. I supported her. But every single time you're supposed to sit down and make policies that will benefit your own where you are, you're always, when you make those policies, you use Nigeria as a reference point.
You look back to your past.
Negatively is where, that's where me
well, she said she doesn't want her country, her new country, to experience what she's experienced, because that's just like it's her story. So I don't want you guys to go through that. So because of that, we have to put things in place. Why are you laughing? To ensure we don't go back to where I'm coming from.
Okay, so if she's saying she should prefer solutions as well. Don't just
she's not the leader of your Nigerian party. She's the Conservative Party.
Stop it. She's putting us in the bad
Let me come
light.
to Mariam, your thoughts.
Well, you know what? I agree with, you know, both my co-hosts here, you know, for the for and against. Truly, I think you know, when I heard that we're discussing, I was like, again, haven't we discussed that enough? We know where she stands. And apart from being Nigeria and having the platform that she has and putting us in a bad light or telling the truth, and so it is a lesson for us to do, you know, better. The thing is, she's a politician, and she's going to try and score points. And she has a Nigerian point to score. She will use it all the time. People do that all the time. So what I see really is that maybe eventually I want to see the people in her country, her new country, asking her questions about their country and so the issues that they are facing right now. So she's talking about the inflation, the fact that she saw her family's wealth dwindle over time because of inflation. Hello? Inflation is happening in the UK. Exactly. It has happened various times recently. There are people in the UK constantly complaining about the rise in prices of goods and services, you know. So why are you not talking about that and how that is affecting the people of your country today based on these leaders who are better than Nigerian leaders and the policies that they have, you know, put forward better than Nigerian policies, and yet people in your country are complaining about that? How about talk to them about those issues and how to handle them? How about you know, I just see it. The word I want to use is being politically opportunistic. Honestly, you know, she just needs to make a point. She has found something and she's going to use it. Kudos. Now, are we going to talk to ourselves? Of course, we talk to ourselves all the time. That's why we have a democracy. Madam, I don't know, she left when she was 16 years old. I don't know if the military was there, but does she know that in 16 years or more, we've had a democratically elected government back to back to back? Every time we're unhappy about something, does she hear Nigerians come out and talk about their issues, you know? So we are holding government accountable every day. Definitely, we are not a perfect country. We're finding our way. And then if you want to talk about really terrible countries, Auntie, did they tell you that this is your country of origin? They came and they stole and they finished our people. Did they tell you about colonialism? Did they tell you about slavery? Do you know that story? Do you understand? So if you're painting this your new country as if it's a country that has no challenges, has no past, has no history, that some of the people themselves are ashamed of, you know, but they have walked through it and here they are today. As we are walking through ours and here we are today, a group of women able to sit at this table, talk about differences, call government out on some of the things that they have done wrong. So, madam, I would like for you really to see, as if I'm talking to her. She's here, madam, I'm really speaking to you that try and face, you know, the UK and the issues that you're dealing with right now and let Nigerians face their own issues as well.
Now, this is where I'd like those to come in, because I feel that Nigerians were somewhat being hypocritical. And this is why I say that. Many of us do exactly what Kemi is doing. In different ways. It's just that she's the leader of the Conservative Party and she's saying it out in the open. Many of us, when we travel abroad, when we go and see our friends, that Nigeria, thank God you're here, you can't come back, what do I come back to Nigeria for? Don't come back to that country, you know. We save those things in our little spheres of influences. Either, even though Nigerians move abroad, those who move abroad, while they're trying to get promotion in their own small companies, they tell them how they demonize where they're coming from, tell them how horrible Africa was and how they got through they came to the sea, and now they're in America, and you know, they look for all those sympathetic experiences that people can empathize with them and give them favors. So we do it. So why are we now openly criticizing this person because she's doing it on a global scale and as a leader in that level? Yes. But I have seen I have seen Nigerians. I have been to the UK where a family member was cursing my country right in my presence, and I reminded her, I live there. This thing you're saying, I live there. I'm going back in a few days. You are making it look as if, oh, those people. You know, she said a lot of horrible things. And I said, I live there. So we all do it in different ways.
Yes, we do. And it's painful to see people who have lived here, who have benefited from this country, who the country has blessed. Because if you don't, Shebi in Papana, £100 in get. There were some people that never saw £100 at that time. If the country did not bless the father enough, where will he see £100 from?
We should have even gone.
We should have been able to go. So we have people here who the country has blessed. Anyhow you want to see it, is a blessing to be able to eat, to live, to survive in this country is a blessing. And the land has blessed you to be at that level, wherever level you find yourself, right? To now find themselves outside the shores of the country, look back and start cursing the country. A few years ago, I traveled and, you know, we met up with a family friend who was all about all the wrong things that are happening in Nigeria. Hey, how are you people surviving? Are you sure you will not relocate? Are you sure this will not happen? And I said, if we all relocate, who will stay in the country? Who will help build the country? All of us are not wired to stay outside of our shop. Some of us, our blessings are here. Our blessings are attached here. So by the time you have left and you are insulting our country, you forget that your family members are still here. Exactly. The curses that you are laying will still hit your family members. They say those who live in glass houses should not throw stones because the stones will break the glasses that you're throwing. So it's a Nigerian thing, really. And like you said, we're hypocritical. Everybody in one way or the other says this and does this about Nigeria, but we're now seeing it and it's now obvious to us that, oh, this is how it looks when somebody curses where you're coming from.
Let me take Peter from Ilorin. Thanks for calling, Peter. You're live.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, God bless you all.
Go ahead.
God bless you all.
Amen. Bless you too, sir.
Yes, you guys are doing a very wonderful job. I've said that time to that number.
Thank you, sir.
And without minding what you are really helping us in this country. God will continue to help all of you.
Amen.
You see, this woman, Kemi Badenoch, or what? I think she's suffering from self-bondage of past experience. And she needs to be made known. Today, she might be a citizen of the UK. She doesn't belong there. This is our country of birth. This is our true father's land. Our citizenship over there can be withdrawn. But the one God gives to her here is natural. Nobody can withdraw our citizenship of Nigeria. You see, one thing, it's easy for us to criticize government. My sisters, we are who we are because of what we are because of who we are. I will share an experience with you people. We are bad people. Largely, not all of us. Majority of us are bad to the bone marrow. That the only thing we think of is how do we defraud ourselves, how do we cheat one another, how do we do bad things to one another. Yet we shift all the blames on the government. I had an experience in December. I was in Abuja. I went to price goat, Christmas goat, at the market. They told me 200,000 naira, 180,000 naira. A friend of mine, I won't want to mention it because I'm on national TV, now said, it is better you call madam back home, let madam go to market and price the goat. The same price of goat that was sold for 200,000 in Abuja, they insisted 550,000 naira in Akure, within the same country. What could be the justification for that? What could be the justification for that? Within the same country. Not that I tried this in Niger or in Benin Republic or in Chad. Within the same country. Journey of difference of maximum 9-10 hours. Let's say the road is bad. So we are bad people. And we all contributed to the woes of this country. And if this country is to be better today, all of us should have a change of mindset. Let them relocate all of us living here today to America. and let them move everybody in America today come to Nigeria.
Same thing.
I can bet you in the next 6 months, Nigeria will talk to what we have present.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so I agree with what you said when you said that all of us, we all say stuff, we all say bad things about our country and everything. But it coming from her because she's holding a big position, it's different. It's a total different thing entirely.
That's hypocrisy.
Because she's not the only person that is holding a big position abroad. And so others too, they make decisions, but nobody is referencing Nigeria every time in a negative way.
Or their own countries.
In their own countries. She is the only one every single time she has to make, for her to sit down and make policies that will favor the new country that she has decided to be part of. Every time she wants to do that decision, she will always call Nigeria and say they are bad, this, that. She should hold on to her own country. Make your own decision that will favor where you have decided to be in. And I keep on asking myself that is it that she does not have any other family member left in Nigeria? Because even they too, they are suffering. So how has she even helped them from there?
How do you know
have she packed all of them to her new country? I hope she has packed everybody
let me take Yakub. I'll come to you, Mariam. Yakub, thanks for calling. You're live.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. I totally agree with Miriam this morning. I like the way you talk this morning. This very particular one, it is unfortunate that the reason there you abandoned it is unfortunate. Because we don't talk like this. We don't humanize our feel like this. Even though some of us do. But it's not within our talent and begin to humanize the Nigerians, the country that belongs to you.
Yakub, I can't hear you at all. The line is breaking. So sorry, Yakub, we can't hear you. Go ahead, Mariam.
Okay, you know, saying if we're being hypocritical, I mean, we have these conversations all the time. Remember the Davido conversation where we feel, you know, that yes, in our various homes, in the privacy of our homes, there's some things that we can say. And I think there's something that we also believe in culturally as Nigerians, where is when you're with your family member or friends, when they do something wrong outside, you're on their side. But you know the truth. When you come back home, you tell each other the truth. So, and also we're talking to some particular people who have platforms that would go a long way in reinforcing this negative perception that people just seem to have. I say that this story that I would like to tell of Nigerians, sometimes I believe that we just accepted it as is the thing to do. It's a Nigerian thing to do to say the negative about Nigeria. The way is, or Americans thing to do to always say America is the greatest. Even if they don't believe it, they don't know it, they don't know for sure, they have not done any, you know, they haven't left their country. It's just the thing for them to say. It's what they've been taught. It comes naturally to them. What I say that comes naturally to Nigerians, even when we're sitting there, is what is the most negative thing that I have to say about my country? You say one, then I have to out negative you. You know, my own is even worse than yours. Who's worse? My own is worse than yours. I feel that that's what we're doing. But we're trying to change that. You know, and then we also hope that that people who have a certain level of education, some sort of exposure, some platform, understand the importance of the rhetorics or your narrative when you have platforms like that. We can excuse regular Nigerians living here and there who may not understand, and then we use platforms like this to educate people on how to be more patriotic, how to speak about your country, and how to also speak about the challenges you're facing in your country without necessarily dragging us through the mud. Now, Rishi Sunak, the former Prime Minister, Indian, when he would remember when he was made Prime Minister, we talked about how he brought his traditional culture and religion and rituals and used and did it right there in front of, and it was respected because of the way he respected his religion and his culture. The people there respected him and respected it. But for us, we're constantly looking for how to make our culture and our religion or whatever it is that we stand for seem like we're always, you know, the negative part. And for heaven's sakes, this is 2025. There are millions of human beings across the world who are more educated and quite informed about the histories of different countries. Now we know that there's no particularly, there's not one specific fantastic country. Everybody has come through a journey. We're all going somewhere. The countries that you're comparing us to, These are countries that have had hundreds of years of democracy, of going back and forth, of fixing it. Look at America today with all the years of democracy. See what Trump and look at the conversations that they're having. And yet, you know, we don't call out these countries. Why? Because they are supposed to be the first superpowers. They have all the money, or what is it? Nigeria is just the easy underdog to throw around because it scores you some political points. And I feel really the reason I have an issue with her is not hypocrisy, is her intention. Her intention is not for good. Her intention is for herself. She again has to thank Nigeria at this point for giving her an example that she can use to score political points, because we're still doing good for you, Miss Badenoch, if you don't understand. Even with this negative story, we're still helping you with your political career.
Let me go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll wrap up on this. Stay with us, we'll break back.
Hey, my people, I greet you plenty.
My name na Chika Okeke.
My name na Uwi Balogun.
My name na Damilola Banire.
My name na Moyo Faraway Ahmed. If you also call me Moyo, listen. And this na Abigail. And I dare on top of you, pigeon. I'm going to bring you bass, boost.
I don't get person will be single mother before. He carry another man show say now my husband be this.
This na wetin you want.
After that day, the man
you no go see him again. If you snooze, you lose. If you miss this show, you miss out. On top this our show, I not dey gree for anybody.
When you dey friend the husband, you not see sign say the guy smart, you don't vex, don't use signs.
If they look for person, we go give them to you. Fact as it be.
Men no dey ever get fault.
If baby not there for her,
na
the woman.
Talk no dey be person, you know, make person no fit talk true inside. But for this country, we not say if we open court in the morning, waiting no good, no good.
Me and my sisters, hey, we go stand back back for inside studio to give una all the latest information.
But look, we not even take responsibility for the children. Leave the man.
And that's some poria.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jammies.
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jammies.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show. Give for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, #1 unavailable by Badenoch featuring Musiki.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for #1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym to get fat.
Cricket. She says she does show dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying.
So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No. Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they're for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You see some sports.
That woman.
thanks for staying with us. You know, while we're talking, two stories came to mind. The story of two siblings. They both went to the U.S. In 1983. And two of them, if you speak to them today, they're like two different Nigerians. One entered the U.S., threw away their passport. I'm done with Nigeria. I don't want nothing Nigerian. And everything from the path he took, he was only associating with foreigners, with non-blacks. Yeah, non-blacks. And he stayed in the white community. And he did that up until today. Married to them, his children from that area. He totally abandoned everything. Siblings. He even abandoned his siblings. Like he was done. The other one was within the Nigerian community. He married Nigeria and they were still connected. Now, these are two different Nigerians. And when they speak about Nigeria, they speak about Nigeria differently. So you see Nigeria through the lens of one who totally hates his own experience and one who still believes and has hope for Nigeria. If you see them today, you think they are two different people. And that's a true story. Now, the reason why I use that example is because when we talk about Nigeria, especially those of us who go abroad, the truth is that the joke is usually on us. Because people see you, they hear those horror stories, but it makes them curious about you. And when they get curious, and what happens is that they end up actually liking you, because they're not liking you as a person, but liking your culture, and they get more curious. I remember that experience to where people are, even out there, I mean, there was a time where I was trying to get people to watch Nigerian movies, and they were wondering, what is this nonsense? Like, they were just irritated. But they were curious, they were more interested in Nigerians, the men, how the men were behaving, how they were pampering their wives. And a lot of girls were now looking for Nigerian men to date. That would benefit me. I'm there trying to say, these Nigerians, but they were looking for the men, and from there they were getting about our culture, our music, our lifestyle. And then the Nigerian wives are thinking, they're taking all our men. They're taking all, before you know it, these Americans who have. So the point is that it depends on what perspective that you put out there. From here. So we have to just now decide, and regardless of how you paint Nigeria, the joke is usually on us, because the people, the foreigners, will still make a decision based on.
They will make that decision, and I think Kemi needs to understand that she's a stranger in that land, no matter how many citizenship she gets. If anything happens and they have to revoke anything, she will be back here. She's a stranger, that's one. Secondly, the people you are working for who are not your nationals are watching you very closely. I've worked with white people before, and they are more observant than we are in some sense, because they watch your every move. They watch how you carry yourself. And this also reminds me of how the colonial masters were able to do to us what they did to us because of how we carried ourselves. They came into some communities and it was easier for them because those people threw away everything. Immediately they told you this is evil, this is that, this is that. They threw it away and they were rushing. They were collecting. They were exchanging lives for things like gin and mirror. How we carried ourselves. If you check those histories, you'll see that those places where they had a free hand because of how the people quickly forgot about what they were and who they were, just to, this is something new, this is something fresh, this is something beautiful. No, those people were treated really, really badly. So they are watching. They are watching how you carry yourself. A few years back in the day, I wanted to go into the UK to model. And we're having conversations on changing our names. You know, that was one of the reasons this BC came about, because we're trying to make the names very easy for the white man to process and pronounce, right? And then the model agents now called me and said, stick to Obiajulu, because nobody will, you know, relate to your identity if you lose it. If you change your name in such a way that it's easy for them, you lose your identity. You won't be recognized. You won't give them, you know, something to look forward to, because when they try to pronounce the name Obiajulu and they're asking you questions like, what does that mean? They're missing the syllables and everything, and you're correcting them. It makes them seem like you know who you are, you have an identity. So people are watching. The people she thinks she's impressing, you know, in this political sphere by denigrating her country, they are watching her very closely. And in their minds, there's a way those people process. In their minds, this person is just here for whatever she can get. She can't even hold and say, this is a country that gave birth to me. This is a country where I came from. This is my identity. Even if I am here, I am still this person, and I still have my glory with me.
When you're talking, it was a phase. I remember when I was in the US and was doing Mariah Carey. So that's what's your name. Instead of saying Mariah, I'll say Mariah.
To make it easy
Mariah,
for them.
Mariah. So there's a girl, her name was Deidre. Gideon's like, Mariah, spell it, please. And I've read it. This is Morayo. I'm like, no, it's Mariah. Very foolish of me.
Yeah, you wanted...
Really, because it's a
do you know where it came from? It came from the fact that you've always heard your country is less than.
Yes.
So
I felt now it took me new knowledge to realize and to tell my name is Morayo. Exactly. And eventually,
so to add to what BC said, there are poor people too in the UK. There are poor people. So if she's saying 100 in Nigeria, the people are poor. In the UK, there are poor people. I think we should just ignore the things that she said. I think we give her whatever she says too much energy, and she's feeling very, very important. That is why every time after when he comes down, she will come up with something, and everybody will start and all of that. I don't think they should give her any more.
So with that, Ramat, I think your view ladies will drop the subject after this. Not.
So maybe my advice for her, really, for your political career, madam, would be that she should, you know, be careful what she says about her birth country. She's alienating Nigerians here and also Nigerians just like her abroad who have acquired or who have taken on the second citizenship, but also quite proud of where they are from. You know, they bear the name, they are naming their children these names, you know, they still have contact with Nigeria. So even if they agree with you on some of your political policies or points, you'll be alienating Nigerians because of how you keep denigrating their country that they are proud of. So, madam, I think you should change your strategy and do it differently.
Imagine we wake up tomorrow morning and we hear that the king is visiting Nigeria, and then he comes here and there's this whole new interest in Nigeria. Who's going to start feeling like, oh, is that the country that I totally denigrated internationally, they're now giving it so much attention?
The politician, she will
find her way. She will do it like this. She can even change her name. That Kemi self, she can even change it to maybe look for one green or blue. You know them.
Say blue. Look at this one.
Change Kemi, remove the Kemi, give us back.
I think I
can keep her name. Yes,
we are still proud of her.
Yes.
We are proud of her because what she has accomplished is no lean feat, and it's something that we must be proud of, and we celebrate her daily, even though we criticize her, but we do understand as women, we celebrate her because she has achieved.
Speak for yourself. She's really criticizing us.
As your spokesperson on this thing.
We are the ones celebrating her.
We are celebrating, and we celebrate her because she's the leader of the Conservative Party.
Yeah.
That is a big
How does that affect me?
Yes,
and my bank account?
And that we need to celebrate and be proud of. Just that we prefer her utterances to be more. What's the word?
Be kinder in your approach, madam.
I'm not celebrating anything.
Kemi, Badenoch.
That is all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we'll bring in our guests. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
My people, I greet you plenty.
My name na Chika Okeke.
My name na Uwi Balogun.
My name na Damilola Banire.
My name na Moyo Faraway Ahmed. If you also call me Moyo, listen. And this na Abigail. And I dare on top of you, pigeon. I'm gonna bring you bass, boost.
I don't get person will be single mother before. He carry another man show say now my husband be this.
This na wetin you want.
After that day, the man
no go see am again. If you snooze, you lose. If you miss this show, you miss out. On top this our show, I not dey gree for anybody.
When you dey find the husband, you not see sign say the guy smart, you don't vex, don't give signs.
If they look for person, we go give them to you. Fact as he be. Men no they ever get fault. If baby not there for her, na the woman.
Talk no dey be person, you make person no fit talk true inside. But for this country, we not say if we open court in the morning, waiting no good, no good.
Me and my sisters, hey, we go tanda gidigba for inside studio to give una all the latest information.
We not even take responsibility for the children. Leave the man.
And that's some poria.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular,
result. Let me go and look for my jam result. So
My 20 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
You be like person at this point, I contest my jam result.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show, you for that long.
Ladies and gentlemen, #1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for #1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now. His name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym to get fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference?
There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer,
they're already almost naked.
Thanks for staying with us. So our guest is a multifaceted entrepreneur, philanthropist, and motivational leader, and visionary founder of the Quiverful, a non-profit organization dedicated to empowering women with infertility and obstetric issues. Drawing from her own personal experience and driven by compassion, she's also sought-after speaker. The platform has offered motivational seminars, skills acquisition programs, and empowerment forums. Welcome with us, Catherine Abagon, to the show. Good to have you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean,
nice to be here.
So to join the conversation, you can call us on 091-390-76943. You can also send us messages on X and also on YouTube. We'll be happy to hear your thoughts. So we know your story about infertility and one of the reasons why you were able to start Quiverful. Before we go into what you do, just let's give us a bit of a background of your own personal story. That will give us an insight to how we can take this conversation.
Thank you very much. So I married year 2000, and like every other woman, you want to get pregnant. And it was a very tough one. And of course, when you're not financially buoyant, the chances are limited. Your medical exploration is limited. The kind of clinic to go to is, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So that kind of complicated our journey a little bit. Because when I took in and I started sporting, and of course we went to the clinic, the private hospital where we were using then. At that time we were owing 3,000 naira, not dollars. And of course the doctor, of course I don't judge him, he refused to see us. And it was not those days of ATM or that you can just walk to ATM and draw money and all that. Anyway, even if there was no money anywhere. So, and that's how we went to another hospital, public hospital, and then we had the evacuation done, and complications started from there. There was no, they didn't give me any antibiotics. I didn't know I was supposed to take any. And, that kind of complicated the issue, and that's how the journey started. So this is what kind of motivates me, because I see a lot of women, couples, young couples, who are just starting life, and something as simple as just seeing, a specialist to tell you, you don't need to even do IVF. It's maybe a cyst, or you can take this particular medication and everything is resolved. So this is what motivates me, because I believe that what I went through, no woman needs to go through it. And my own journey was even simple compared to the women I see these days. I married to my friend, you know, so I didn't go through what women are going through now. You can never imagine what women are going through, where this is a society that kind of put all of the blames for conception on the woman. You know, it takes a man and a woman to make babies, but usually when these challenges happen, the woman is stigmatized. The families are talking down on her. She doesn't have a voice. Her husband treats her shabbily. Husband will not go to the hospital to get himself checked. You know, the stories are just, you know, so heart-rending. And this is what motivates us to start Quiverful. And over the time, we've been able to encourage women that beyond having babies, there's more to life than making babies. One of the things that helped me while I was going through that journey was the fact that because I had a support, a good family that supports me, my in-laws are very supportive and all of these things. Not every woman had that opportunity. And that helped me to kind of grow my career. You know, my life was not stagnant. You know, I was growing in other areas. This is not the case for many women. Many women, brilliant, intelligent women, they're stuck. They can't do anything. This childbearing is the only agenda on their table. And so
that's what makes them feel like they are
exactly
women.
So Quiverful, what exactly do you provide for women in your foundation? What are the specific?
Okay, so specifically what we do, first of all, we want to change people's mindset. We want you to focus on you first, because it takes a wholesome woman who is gainfully employed and financially empowered to raise babies. So what we do, we organize skill acquisition to help them, you know, develop. If they have to go to school, we support them. And also for those who are ready, that, you know, we walk you through this journey to ensure that your mindset and orientation are changing. And then if you are ready to go when we're ready to do fertility treatment, we sponsor them, 100% full sponsorship. And we've had very good results.
So what sort of impact would you say that in the last 7 years you have brought to the lives of women? And are there like particular stories that stood out for you in your interactions with the women as you meet them?
Oh, there are so many stories. I mean, I'm a Christian, and one of the major things that I also saw in Christendom is the fact that, because I struggle like that initially, you know, every day we grow, is the fact that some Christian folks they don't believe in seeking medical intervention or doing all of this assisted reproductive system, IVF and all of that, because they believe that, why do you want to help God? You don't have faith. Okay, so we've seen, there's a particular story that stood out for me. Is a man of God who has been married for 21 years, 20-something years. And for that period of 21 years, they had never done any form of course there was no money. And just one IVF attempt, they had a triplet. One IVF, and it will amaze you what that brought to the marriage. The kind of, even the woman looked better, she looks happy, and she's happier. The relationship is better. So this childbearing thing is a major.
Let's talk about the women's and their emotional capacity to handle some of these decisions, because there are other options like surrogacy, options like adoption that many people choose not to consider. As a woman who has gone through this, what kind of advice would you give women in the situation whereby they have to take those options? I mean, aside from the IVF, yes, but the available options are adoption or surrogacy. How do you handle those kind of conversations?
Very interesting question. Interestingly, these are all if you go to Quiver, for women who have been through Quiver, we have all these options. We have women in a foundation that have surrogate babies. We have those that have adopted. So this is what we talked about, mindset changing. So we walk them through. If you are with us for a period of 3 months, there's no way on earth your mindset will not change. So people are now very open to. The only challenge is that, you're working on the woman, and then by extension, you also need to find a way to reach
work
the
with
man.
the husband,
So sometimes I bring my husband in, and advise them to find, like a father figure that the man can listen to, people that they respect, or a mentor that can, explain all of this stuff to them. And then from time to time, we also bring people who have done the same thing, and they just talk about it freely. There was a lady, Tony Lolo Gumade. She came on our program once on our fertility conference. Yeah. She spoke on our fertility conference, which is happening. This Saturday we're going to be having that fertility conference. It's an annual event where we bring, doctors, experts to come and talk to people. There was a time we brought Mrs. Joke Silva, who herself is an adoptee. So they talk about this things. I know. She everybody knows. Ooh, yeah, okay. She is. So she spoke about it, and this kind of encourage people. It encouraged people to say, you know what, this thing is not that deep. Lolo Gumade did. A surrogate mom was Indian, and she talks about it. If you see the twins, the girl looks exactly like her, and the boy looks exactly like the husband. So people are more informed. Although there are still people who are struggling, even in Christendom. So my prayer is that our church folks will actually receive the courage and the understanding to know that these are God-given options. An adopted baby, there's no difference. That's the honest truth.
I hear you talk about do you work with specialists? And if you do, and how do you get funded?
Yes. So thank you for that question. So we work with a clinic called the Olive Branch Clinic in Lekki. Shout out to Dr. Emeka Ikena of the Olive Branch Clinic. Amazing man, amazing doctor. Honestly, he doesn't put any pressure on me. We are not really making much money in Quiverful, so I will tell you that 90% of the funding comes from me. It's a lot of weight, and Dr. Emeka kind of simplified it for me, made it easy for me. Last year, the last treatment we made was about 30 million.
Wow.
So
one person or several women?
Several women.
Okay.
So what I did was to pay an installment, and thankfully nobody calls me. For one time that the accountant called me, called him to his office and said, "Don't disturb Mrs. Abagon." So they don't call me, even if it's 2 years. There was a time for a whole year I couldn't pay a dime. So I paid an installment. That's how I've been funding it.
Wow.
And of course, we know the economy is really challenging. There was a time people were giving stipends. Right now, as I speak with you, in fact, from the inception to now, I don't think we've raised up to 20 million. And in the course of that
period,
in terms of support.
Wow.
Did I say 20 million? 13 million. I'm not sure we've done that. I've told my account manager to actually.
So tell us about go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, you mentioned God a lot. Yes. And of course, I can tell you talk about your relationship with God and Christianity. Yes. How important is the place of God in, this kind of conversation, or in the life of a woman who is going through issues like this, and maybe has not already found God, but is dealing with it just, through science or something? How important do you think this is?
Very, very important, because the truth of the matter is science does not guarantee anything. And even doctors will tell you, we try, only God cures. We care, God cures, right? So at the end of the day, the God factor, you cannot take that out. I've done IVF many attempts, and I know people that have done many attempts and it was never successful, right? And one person will just do once, and these things the dynamics is so different. And the thing about knowing God is the fact that sometimes the way God will answer you is different from the way He would answer me. The challenge is that we always have a template, or we want God to work in particular ways.
It should be this way.
So you cannot ever rule out the God factor. And even there are no guarantees that even when you're pregnant, that you can carry the baby to full term, or that you will not die in the process, right? So we've had very difficult complications, even of pregnancies in Quiverful. It was God that delivered a particular woman. That pregnancy, it is a spiritual battle sometimes. Most of these are spiritual, and you cannot use the physical to deal with the spiritual.
Everything is spiritual.
I'm telling you, it's the truth. It's the truth, whether you like it or not. The spiritual world controls the physical.
Let's go to the emotional part of women, because this is something that a lot of women they are not able to bring themselves to take certain decisions. Because they feel, like I said, yes, there's a part of faith, there's a part of we don't have the money, there's a part of my husband's family would think I'm trying to do something fishy. You know, there's always that confusion. Yeah. So how does a woman bring herself to make a decision? Because you've been dealing with infertility. You've gone to the doctors, you're confused, but your mind, your state of mind is so confused that you don't know what there are options, but taking that step is always that difficult step. How would you advise a woman who is going through that too?
Yes, so normally what I tell women is, I mean, beyond looking for, it's good to think of what would Murayo say if I take this decision, what will you feel if I do this? The first thing you need to know as a woman is to think of you first. How do you feel about the decision you're about to take? How will it make you feel? Because you're the one dealing with the problem. Everybody in the family goes back to their homes, their kids are calling them mommy, you know. And when you adopt, the truth of the matter is the day you adopt, and you see there's a difference between, I always tell people, because sometimes you can live in self-denial and you're a big mommy to many nieces and nephews, your house is always full, like my case was, and you really are not, and then there's no pressure. But when you have a baby and the first time the baby calls you mom, there's the difference. It doesn't matter whether it's adopted or through a surrogate. The name mom, it means a world of difference in the life of a woman.
Wow.
So you have to think about it. Think of me. You know, take out yourself from the old scenario and say, look, right now, me, I matter more than what every other person thinks. And when you take that decision, it will amaze you that people will fall in line. That's true.
I like where you just led us to. That's word mom. There's a way it makes you feel. But do you think it's because we are in this part of the world? Because I see a lot of people in other climes who do not care. They decide not to have children.
Yeah.
They don't want to have anything to do with bringing another baby into the wicked world, so to speak. So they rather adopt cats and dogs.
Yeah.
And they don't feel any way when nobody's there to call them mom. Do you think it's because we're in this part of the world where, you know, the woman is not complete till she has her own child?
Yeah.
Motherhood is seen as one thing that makes a woman. Yeah. Marriage is seen as the El Dorado, the all of all. Do you think it's because it's our culture? And do you foresee that in time it will change?
It's changing, actually. Okay. Culturally, is the way that Africans, you know, it's not only in Nigeria, it's something that is predominant in the African states. So, yes, it's because of the way, it's not even only having a child. Marriage is a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
No matter how successful or accomplished you are, without this thing on your fingers, you don't matter. In fact, when they're talking about, I don't know if you noticed, when they're talking about, oh, Murayo, you know, she's the MD of this, she's done this, she's done that. The next question somebody is going to ask, is she married?
Yeah.
You know, so it's important to us. But, I mean, things are changing. Right now, I know, because I know there are people, young, this generation, this Gen Z, they really don't give a hoot. Whether they have a husband or they are pregnant, they want to even keep their figures. Young people, fertile, are now looking for surrogate mothers because they don't want to spoil their figures. So things are changing. And, you know, this is why one of the things we do here is advocacy. We are advocating for families, for in-laws, modern in-laws, to know that because there is no baby does not mean your son is not sterile. It takes two to make babies. We've seen a situation where, we've seen all sorts. The woman married very early, but the man, we have a situation of zero sperm. Zero. No sperm at all. And they've been praying and binding for many, many years. And, you know, the woman has been stigmatized and all this sort of thing. She's the only one going.
Collecting all the injections.
You know, so these are real issues that we as Africans, as Nigerians, we need to have a rethink. We need to start to think differently and stop stigmatizing women. We're going through a lot. Women are going through a lot. It's a lot to deal with, honestly speaking. And I believe, like equivalent, like we say, happy family, happy society. Yeah. If you deal with a woman, you know, treacherously, and, you know, she's a ghost of herself, you know, she's not productive, at the end of the day, it's going to come back to you, the man, you know. And we find situations where that the man is now looking for a second wife, or looking for baby mamas, and sometimes you see that, of course, the babies come. By the time you find out, the man is not even the
owner of the baby. They mix
you know.
So you've had cases like that. How did you?
We've seen all sorts.
Like
no, not directly. We hear
okay.
all these stories. People bring stuff to you for counseling. Not necessarily.
So let's talk about you now as a person. How is motherhood for you? I mean, how many years did it take you?
Oh, many years. Many years. Many years. You know, I remember that it was 2018 actually that our baby came. We have an adorable son. It's going to be 11 in April. It's going to be 11 in April. And the truth of the matter is, like I said, there's a difference between being a big mommy and being a mommy. So the first time my son called me, all of a sudden I didn't even know why he doesn't say mother or mommy. You know, it just says mom. You know, I can never forget. I remember there was a time we were in England. You know, I was in England and him and his dad came to join me. I was away for like a week on training, and then so they joined me so that we can do vacation together. And then they came when I got back home and I saw that, oh, showered for him, put him on my lap, and as I was, you know, dressing him up, he hugged me by the side and said, I love you, Mom.
Oh,
you know.
There's nothing like that. It melts
you. I said, I got teary, and it's, I don't know, but like you said, it's not only in this climb. Some women are wired like we are wired. You just want to see your own child. It's a natural thing. You know, of course, there are other people in the other climes also that this thing is a big deal for them as well.
Yeah, true.
I've seen many people that have done many, in fact, people call in on a fertility conference. People DM me to say, oh, they have tried IVF for many years abroad. You know, what is our success rate in Nigeria? They are trying to see if they can do so in Nigeria, or adoption, you know, all those kind of stuff. So it's everywhere, all over the world. And I mean, this is one of the reasons that the fertility conference actually went virtual. It was after COVID that we said, okay, let's do this year, let's do virtual. We realized that it was even more impactful. People all over the world. So we're able to reach more people. We're able to counsel with more women who are going, a lot of people all over the world. It's a world, it's a global issue.
So, you know, many Nigerian women don't find it comfortable to talk about their stories, especially stories like this that they feel would stigmatize them.
Yeah.
What do you think helped you to share your story? Was it how long it took you to get it, or what was it that encouraged you, knowing how Nigerians can be quite judgmental, to do this?
Naturally speaking, I am, by nature, I'm not one that is, I don't really care what people think of me. Okay. You know, and again, the older you get, I'm 60 this year by August, by the grace of God.
You don't look it.
So when you get to this age, this is not the age that you really give
hoots.
A hoot, what someone thinks or feels about you. Right. So, and naturally, I'm a very free person. I don't know how to tell a lie. I'd rather not tell you than lie. You know, I know I'm under like what is it called? Confidentiality with my husband. I have to say this. Honey, please, I'm sorry.
Oh, we're sorry too.
So, what helped me to tell my story was the fact that when the issue of adoption came to the fore, I struggled a bit. The reason I struggled, which is why the question you asked was very valid. I struggled not because I wasn't open to it. In fact, before we got married, one of the things my husband and I were talking about was, you know what, we're going to have two and we're going to adopt one. So when people started telling me, oh, this, do you know what was my major issue? It was like, what will people think? How will I explain it? My mother that is a prayer warrior. My mom would say, oh, God has failed her.
Ouch.
You know, these were the things I was thinking. But guess what? When I made up my mind that, you know what, let everybody feel the way they feel. When we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. And my husband and I decided and everything. The same mother of mine that I was so concerned about. When I told her, she went on her face and prostrated to God. I said, Father, thank you. So this is how you wanted to do it. This is what you've been showing me all along. She was so happy.
I'm having goosebumps.
Yeah. You understand? And everybody that I was concerned about fell in line. It was just God orchestrated.
Yeah.
It was a story that was something that was orchestrated by God. So I really don't care what anybody thinks.
Of course.
I am a joyful mother.
Yes, so you
an
are.
Adorable, intelligent, smart son. And that's what matters.
That's deserving. I think we can end with that. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us, and we wish you the best on what you do, and hope that more women can be blessed through you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's all we can take.
Thank you.
On today's show, hope you learned a few things as we have. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Thank you, ladies. I try to